We OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Yeah. Experts on reload. Yeah. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock. Ayy. Rooms is coming. Everybody on a knot. Ayy. It's a nuisance. Ordinal Revolution. Ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution. Ayy, Bitcoin is the one, no substitution. Ayy, with Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We are live with an Ordinal hour, and this one is going to be the best ever, guys, because we are at $72,327. Bitcoin is ripping. Yesterday, we started the day off at like a little under 70, and then we finished it off at 73,400. I won't say what the high was for yesterday, and today we kind of dipped a little bit. Definitely bouncing back. I'm definitely excited. I'm extremely excited, guys. This is monumental. This is exactly what we've been waiting for the last 6 months. You deserve this pump. You deserve everything that you're about to get, because the only people that are here is just us. You can check the Google searches, and it's low, guys. We are still playing PvP, but there's a lot of money coming in, and it's going into assets, and those assets are going to skyrocket once retail gets here, and once the big money kind of goes into the ecosystem, and it's coming. I'm excited. You're excited. Let's get this show started. I'm bringing my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
What's up, dude? So you're out yesterday.
Yes.
How you feeling? How you feeling with the markets? How amazing was it to watch the price action?
Yeah, today I'm out and I'm groggy because I was sedated. You know, afterwards I like was in and out of naps and stuff afterwards all day yesterday. But I was just kept looking at my phone. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Bitcoin's running. Broke through that $70,000 barrier, and this was something that I was saying would maybe happen by the end of this week, and it happened the day after I said that. So feeling really bullish. I think that there could be a tricky pullback before heading into that election day. I did some comparisons to the last cycle for the election. I think it was on November 3rd. But man, it's a bullish time regardless. Like even if it pulls back, it's just going to be a temporary pullback, and then further up, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. We're gonna get into some stuff. Some questions that I have about DXY and stuff. We'll get into that a little later. But I kind of wanted to kind of get into the first thing here. Florida's chief financial officer has requested an assessment from the State Board of Administration to explore the potential of investing a portion of the state's retirement funds in Bitcoin. So yesterday, you weren't here, but we had a news report that Emory College, they're a big college in Atlanta.
Yeah.
They're a very smart school. You have to be really smart to get in there. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've known some people that went there.
Gotcha. I don't because I don't know smart people. But no, I'm just kidding.
Hey,
I'm just
hey,
kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but so Emory College put $16 million in the Bitcoin ETF over the course
Wow.
of the weekend last week. Pretty massive. Today, we're seeing Florida start looking into retirement funds. So these two things weren't on my bingo card for this, right? I had nation states, I had Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, right? But I didn't have colleges and now retirement funds. Did you see this coming? This
Well,
cycle anyway?
I did once the ETF was approved, and it's on Wall Street now, right? So it's a different type of protection. Last cycle there were a couple of like what is it? Organizations or what are they called? I can't think of them right now. Unions and stuff or whatever. They were trying to do some sort of retirement funds. I know the Canadian Teachers Union. They lost a lot of money from FTX. I think FTX is custodying their stuff. So ETF is a little bit different now that it's approved here by the SEC. So there's a different backing there, or more trust. So I'm not super surprised about this. Now, did I think that colleges would start to do it right away? No, but and Emory, you're absolutely right. It's actually a private Christian college, I think, and for them to do that means that they had to have done a lot of their due diligence and convincing of the admin and board there.
Yeah, 100%. I think these two things, colleges and pension funds and retirement funds, they're pretty big. 'Cause the retirement fund basically is a pension, or they're different.
I mean, a pension is a retirement fund, right? It's like one of the
Okay.
best forms of a retirement fund because it kind of never ends. Like you get a certain
Yeah,
amount, right, forever. So, but yeah, it's just a form of retirement fund.
Gotcha. So yeah, so I'm definitely excited for this. This is more and more Bitcoin coming off the market, guys. This is going to make the ETFs buy more and more of it, which is uh, that's all Coinbase. Coinbase is holding all this Bitcoin. It's going to be insane. Larry Fink is backing it. Guys, I just don't think we're all ready. I think, like I had Derek on the show yesterday. Shout out to Derek. He did an amazing job, but he was very conservative with his number as well. He said between 250 and 300, and I was like, that's kind of where Yagobi is. He might be a little higher, but you guys are pretty much conservative. I don't think you guys are bullish enough. Like I really don't.
Yeah, well, I think it's better to be pleasantly surprised than to be disappointed, right? So that's my approach to it, and I'm kind of sticking with that conservative between 250 to top end 500, right?
Yeah.
But who knows? Like I think we're gonna get a big tell this Q4, right? Because Q4 is gonna let us know how much higher we're gonna go before the real bull run year is 2025. And if you think about it, like previous having years, yes, there's a little bit of a run up in Q4, but it's not like the fireworks and stuff. So if we get past 100K in Q4, letting into the new year, I think that's really bullish, right? If we get to let's say we got to 120 or something like that, I think that's extremely bullish, and then that could really spark something that's probably closer to what you're thinking, maybe 550, something like that, crazier than what I'm thinking.
I'm between 6 and 8. I think 6 for the low and 8 for the high. I think right around as soon as we get there though, as soon as we get over that 500K mark, everyone's gonna be saying a million. And then I'm gonna look like I'm not bullish enough. I just feel it, man. I feel like that's the scenario we're gonna hit. But jump into the next thing here. IBIT Bitcoin ETF surpasses $30 billion in Bitcoin in the ETF, 400,000 Bitcoin. Achieving this milestone is in just 293 days, a record-breaking pace compared to JEPI, which is a gold ETF. It took 1,272 days, or GLD that took 1,790 days. This is pretty insane.
Yeah, and this kind of falls into what you've been saying about Bitcoin really becoming that dominant asset, right? Against gold. But we have to remember it was a different time, 2004 versus now. Inflation's a lot higher, in terms of the dollar and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, people are just going to look at, what it's worth today, right? And how quick it got there. So, I think even if you, count in inflation, it still would be ahead of where gold was in terms of getting to this milestone.
So GLD is the gold ETF, but JEPI is the JP Morgan ETF. So that's just it's a larger active ETF. So I'm
Like
not sure if that's
basket of
gold or
goods,
not, but
maybe.
yeah, I should have looked into that before. But yeah, so that's like kind of, but still, GLD took 1,790 days to get this much money. Money is different though, right? So money is a lot different. You know, for $30 billion today isn't $30 billion 20 years ago. I feel like, that's like 300 billion now, right? So I do feel like the money has
Inflation.
deflated since, but still, it's still really, really impressive.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I think you just got to do the ratio math with that,
Yeah.
and try to do it. But like at the end of the day, I think Bitcoin, a lot of your points that you make, it will get supercharged in terms of like becoming that dominant asset class because of nation states. Information is just moves so much faster today. Like back then when gold was really becoming popular, I mean, yes, people knew that it was scarce and you had to go and find it and all this stuff, but today nation states can literally get on the computer and figure, put like get a wallet together and start purchasing right away.
Yeah, that's true. Or they can start buying miners, right? And mine
Exactly.
the Bitcoin, right? So that's a big thing that we're seeing too, especially in countries that don't have a lot of money. You can see them go the other route and just mine a thing. But that's why you're seeing hash power just go to the moon. I mean, we're at every single day we're at a higher and higher hash power. There's more miners coming under the system every single day. Where they're coming from, we have no idea. Right. So I mean, you could mine from anywhere. Just thousands of miners or 20 miners. It doesn't matter. And you're seeing more and more come on. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and it's also like how much does your electricity cost, right? So if you're a small country in Africa and you're the government, you can really kind
Yeah.
of dictate a little bit on how much your energy is, right? So that's why I think like, these smaller countries in Africa, maybe South America, and South America, they're utilizing different types of energy sources, right? Like volcano energy,
Yeah.
hydro energy with their dams and stuff like that, and they have tons of waterfalls. So I think we're going to start seeing, these countries, and we talk about this a lot, that were impoverished the past century, find opportunity and take advantage of it.
100%. And you got to remember, every single country has a power plant, right, of some kind. It's only a matter of time before every power plant has Bitcoin rigs, right? Bitcoin miners everywhere. And right, you see that? Do you see every power plant eventually having Bitcoin miners?
Probably, or some sort of like
Yeah.
relationship with mining companies, right? Um, yeah, that's how I look at it. Not necessarily getting into the mining like competition, but have some sort of relationship, right? It's almost kind of like purchase wholesale power from us, right? We'll give it to you
Yeah.
on like cheap if you just purchase this much. So
100%. Visa and Coinbase partner for instant crypto buys on debit cards. So this is pretty massive. This kind of was under my radar. It took me a little while. It was on CoinDesk of all places. So it didn't get to Cointelegraph or Decrypt, but it got to the CoinDesk, which is one of the biggest news outlets for crypto. But Visa and Coinbase partnership. Visa and MasterCard seem to be leading the charge. And they have to, right? It's adapt or die. They don't want to become Blockbuster. So it's just one of those things where this is pretty obvious eventually, right?
yeah, I mean, you can use your debit cards, but like using a credit card would be crazy. So I think that's the next step, right? Like being able to use your credit card on Coinbase is you can't do
Yeah.
that right now. So yeah, it's expected, to have Visa and MasterCard come along and just shows where we are, and what's probably going to come next. The US putting out regulation, this I feel like they're kind of foreshadowing a little bit, saying, "Hey, look, we think that Trump's probably going to win. His
Yeah.
entire like admin is crypto friendly. This is like the next steps." So this is not surprising, and I think people just need to really position themselves right for this. And how do you do that? And that's up to your research and stuff, right? Because I think it kind of starts to switch to like serious types of projects in maybe like the next year and a half, and because
Yeah.
once these big institutions come in, they're not going to want to like constantly like look at memes and stuff. They want to be serious, and they want to
Yeah.
take the industry serious.
Could you see Visa and MasterCard completely changing the way they use Swift and everything and kind of going on to crypto rails?
So I would see the banks more, slowly coming along, right? Obviously, they have like an institution type bank and stuff, but I'm talking about more of who use Swifts on a daily basis, right? You're going to see that from more of like these banks, because when you're sending overseas and all that stuff. But then I think that's where the XRP comes in. I think there's a lot of stuff with like the banking industry that we're not hearing about right now. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that they're probably working with XRP, or one of those 200 or 2022 company, or crypto companies or whatever. But it's happening. They're not going to be left behind. I don't.
Every time you said XRP, I just cringed. It's just disgusting. Sorry. I hate it so much. But jumping to the next thing here. But I definitely agree with you. Yeah, 100%. So Bitcoin nears all-time high, and this is a little concerning, of 73K. But Google search interest sits at just 23% of its 21K 2021 peak, signaling a low interest from retail investors. Let me show you what I mean here, because I have a chart. So you can see in 2021, we peaked here at basically 100%, right? The highest it's ever been. And we've kind of went down. This is the bear market, which is very normal. But for us to be sitting here, while Bitcoin's at 73K, is this concerning to you? Because this is really concerning to me. I feel like it might be forced.
No, I mean, it shouldn't be concerning to you if you go back to October 27th, 2020, right there.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
this is kind of goes back to the templated timeline, right? That I always talk about. Our perception is skewed this year because of the ETF and because of the early pumps. But Bitcoin has gotten back to where it's supposed to be. Throughout the summer, we got down to 49,000, right? And then we kind of ranged between 49. We teased 70,000, but we went right back. So I think we're right where we're supposed to be. And I do expect like a leg up here in Q4. Whether that means we go over six figures, I don't know. It could mean that we just hit a new all-time high, 80, 85, maybe 90. It could mean we go over six figures. But I think that 2025 is that big year where we're going to see those crazy interest like the spikes, right? That you saw in 2021, because our 2021 is 2025. Right. And so the biggest difference was in 2021, there was manipulation for hitting two different peak times, right? In the spring and in the fall. And that could actually happen without manipulation this time, because of a super cycle, like an extended, right translated super cycle, right? So we could kind of hit like I know for a fact that we're going to hit a spring peak. The question is, will we hit a fall peak? And I shouldn't say I'm so sure that we're going to hit a spring, because we might just hit the fall one. Because if you look at 2017, which is more of a natural cycle, it hit the fall and winter peak. It wasn't a huge spring spike. But we'll see. If it is extended super cycle, then we could hit both. That would be amazing, And then I think that's whenever we talk about the second time, it actually not stopping at that same peak amount that it pretty much did the first time in 2021, because it never really got higher that much. You know what I mean? It's like right there. But if it's a true organic one that's not like super forced, then I think that's where we see that jump up in fall, winter, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. It's huge. And I think again, I think you're on point there. Let me ask you this question though. Eventually, does these Google searches die off because people understand what Bitcoin is, or do you think that are people not searching Bitcoin because they did it already?
I think it'd be interesting. So, is this a Bitcoin search or is this a crypto search?
Google search insights, peak signaling. I'm pretty sure this is Bitcoin. Yeah.
Okay. So I think we'll probably see like higher like crypto, because people are going to try to look for those opportunities. I mean, you see that every cycle, right? Like in 2017, people didn't want to buy Bitcoin because they're like, well, I can't get that much. I can't make that much. It's already at $14,000. It obviously went to 20, but the people that might be college students that want to gamble a little bit, they're going to look for these newer coins that they can have possible 100x. And I think that's the search keyword that's going to really, Bitcoin will be high, but like crypto will be the highest, I think, in 2025.
Yeah, makes sense. I agree with you. My next thing here is a little concerning as well. The DXY and Bitcoin, can they pump together? Me and you were talking about this today. The DXY strength typically implies a higher demand for the dollar, which can pressure risk assets. And obviously, TradFi sees Bitcoin as risk asset. We don't, but they do, right? So let me just show you this chart real quick before we speak on it. This is the DXY. We've seen it around $1 in like the summer, I want to say really the beginning of October. But this is October for the US dollar because this thing has been up only. But we know why. We know that China has been doing heavy stimulus. We know other countries been printing money. So is this concerning to you at all? And do you think Bitcoin can pump with the DXY?
So I think I know it can pump with it, but it typically doesn't for a long period of time, right? Because it does the opposite. Like that's how it's correlated to it. But like I was talking to you about is like if Bitcoin is in a bull run, let's say we're in like April and Bitcoin's hitting like $250,000 and the DXY is, happens to be doing well, it's not going, I mean, Bitcoin's not going to stop because the DXY is going up, is my point. But typically it doesn't, and it doesn't last like in that same direction. It really doesn't. But there could be anomaly situations to where it does, maybe it looks like this is kind of a similar situation. This is on the hour chart, but looking back from last Thursday, it's been correlated with it. So you got like maybe like a week, almost a week of correlation, both, in positive trajectory. But typically it doesn't last longer than I would say like 2 weeks, maybe. But
Yeah.
DXY is an indicator. Usually you're like, okay, DXY is going to dump. I can take a scalp long here, possibly, or something. Right. So,
Yeah, 100%. I agree, but this is concerning to me though. On the other hand, just because of the fact that this Bitcoin pump just seems a little forced, right? It just seems like usually, and I went back and I was like talking to ChatGPT and I was asked questions about history and uploading charts and stuff to it. And what happens normally is when the DXY pumps and Bitcoin pumps, it usually leads to a long liquidation. Feel like people don't follow both charts together. They go too long, put too much leverage in the system, and then it kind of the DXY continues to go up while Bitcoin kind of goes down. And do I see that happening now? Do I see us taking a Bitcoin dip? I hope not. But there's still a lot of uncertainty with November 5th, right? I think poly markets would tell you there's no uncertainty at all, but worrying about other things that could happen, there's still uncertainty in the market, and I do see a dip before November 5th, maybe going into that, and the DXY kind of rising to like 105, 106 mark before it tops out, and then we go the other way.
yeah. Well, speaking of, going in the same direction right now, the DXY is going down, Bitcoin's going down right now, both together, but
Very correlated right now.
yeah, it is very correlated right now. And like we both said, it's not normal. I don't necessarily think it's forced. I think there are people trying to front run November 5th results, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine, if let's say that we hit an all-time high, right, heading into the election and the results are like opposite. That would be like one of the biggest crashes, probably. Looking at probably like a $10,000 crash or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not worried too much about it. I'm not worried too much about it. Because I do think that like Bitcoin has shown a lot of strength. If you look at some of the headlines the past 3 weeks, you're talking about North Korea joining the war in Ukraine and Russia. You're talking about Israel and Iran going to war, and you're talking about Tether FUD, and it really just looked really strong in terms of, yes, it did pull down some, but like I think the lowest we got was like 67, 68 or something like that. Maybe 60, 67 or 66, but it bounced back really quick. The Tether FUD was obviously manipulated. It was fake. But the other two events were like global, like could be, catastrophe type events. And Bitcoin is just looking strong. Like it's like, okay, no matter what, this is our time to shine. We might not jump up 20,000 yet, but we're going to get there no matter what you try to throw at us.
Yeah, you're right, 100%. You were wrong about one thing. Did Bitcoin hit an all-time high yesterday?
I don't think so.
Well, it did if you're in Europe, because Bitcoin hits its all-time high in euros at
Well, I'm not in Europe, so
$68,000. So congratulations, Europe and euros. But Bitcoin did hit an all-time high yesterday. Bitcoin has hit an all-time high against every currency except the US dollar.
yeah. I remember it was hitting
So,
all-time highs all the time whenever like the Argentinian dollar was, or peso
yeah.
or whatever it is, like was struggling. It was like new all-time high in Argentina. I was like, well, that doesn't really matter too
Yeah.
much, I guess. But yeah, I mean, like I don't look at anything besides the USD right now, and
Yeah.
that's for me, that's what I look at in terms of all-time high, and it just hasn't hit it yet. So, but it is interesting because it is following the same trajectory right now as the DXY. It's really
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But jump into the next thing here. The Bitcoin fear and greed. So this thing's been I was telling you earlier, it was a stable coin yesterday. Yesterday I told Derek, I was like, it was a 71, 72 last week. It's a 72 yesterday. What is today? 72. But it's a little higher than that. That's my hint for you today. But last week it was a 70 last Wednesday. Yesterday was a 72. Where do you think we are today?
Yesterday was a 72.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say we're at 77.
Woo, got it. Oh no! Congratulations to you, my
Hey,
friend.
hey, what do I win? BitPert VIP
Yeah,
pass.
a
What do I
brand
win?
new. Just-
A brand new Bitcoin price action segment.
all right. Let's get into it. It's a Bitcoin price action brought to you guys by BitPerp. BitPerp is going to be one of the leading leverage trading platforms in all of Bitcoin's ecosystem. We truly believe that. Their testnet is live. You can do paper trading as of right now. I'm having fun with it. I'm taking 100x leverage longs because it is not real money, and it is cool seeing $40,000 in profit, $60,000 in profit. So it is exciting. It is fun, but let's kind of get into the price action.
Excuse me, goodness, I'm losing my voice a little bit. I guess it was from the procedure yesterday. But anyhow, before we get into it, if you're on the YouTube side, guys, please smash that like for us and subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on so you know when we go live on the X side. Please hit that like for us and share the space so we can educate and onboard people. But let's get into the Bitcoin price action here. So, as you guys know, Bitcoin has been going up. I think that's pretty obvious. But right now we have formed a red candle on the hour chart. All right, and you can see here the MACD is showing some sell pressure, definitely still there. There's some life in that. We have been in oversold for a while on the stochastics here since let's see, yesterday saying 4 o'clock my time. We haven't really come out of this on the hour chart for Bitcoin. I know that you're probably like, oh well, we've gotten to almost 73,000 a couple times. This is the hour chart, so it's gonna be a little bit different in terms of quick jump, volatility and stuff like that. So we haven't really had that sustained pump up, and because that would have probably pushed us past 74,000 into a new all-time high. But I do, for the second half of today, probably something, a little bit choppy between low 71,000, maybe break down into the 70,000 as well, to mid 71, maybe high 70 or low 72,000. So nothing, no crazy prediction or anything like that. I just don't see anything crazy happening today. So that's the hour chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart, which is my favorite chart, as you guys always know. You can see that the buy pressure is starting to weaken here, and we are starting to kind of come out of this overbought part of the stochastic RSI as well. Let's look at some support and resistance here on the 4-hour. Goodness, I need to get some water here. We are looking a bit stronger in some of these levels here at 71,800. All the way up until I would say right here, 72,700. We're seeing some resistance being a little bit overpowered, overpowering the support, but not much, right? So, I mean, it's been pretty bullish, but I do see this kind of closing up here. So, depending on how the rest of today goes, this could kind of come down and we go into some sell pressure. Don't really see anything crazy happening for the rest of this week. Maybe if we get some good news, we continue the uptrend and hit a new all-time high before the weekend starts. But probably think that we just kind of tread back and forth between 70 to 72 2.25 around there. Not not anything super confident each way right now. But taking a look here at the DXY, you can see that it is dumping a little bit. This is what me and Shizzy were talking about earlier. You can see this is the hour chart for the Dixie, and it is showing that it wants to sell down some. But that is the same indication that we're getting on Bitcoin. So that's what's kind of weird. If the DXY continues to go down, if there's an aggressive push down, that would be good. That means that, probably see a little bit of push up here. Whichever side's going to go aggressive, I think the other side will probably start to go the other direction there. So that is what I'm seeing for the second half of today and for the next couple of days.
Absolutely awesome. We have a guest for today, guys, but real quick, let's get into roll call. Let's see who is here. All right, so first is first on the show, and number one is Tim Baker, AOD Art. Thank you so much. He said graveyard, let's go, because YouTube sometimes delete the comments, but they did not delete Tim's comment from yesterday, so shout out to Tim.
Did we ever figure out what that's about?
It's just YouTube. I think they do like a internal reset to the lives or something. I'm not sure. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo, he loves me and I love you. Shout out to Mr. Hanky. Chief Axel is here. PJNZ. Webdro is in the building. Moon Yacht Club. Shout out to you, my friend. It's your first time here. Thank you so much for showing up. Yasher, my guy. Appreciate Yasher for everything he does for the show. One of our mods. Appreciate you, my friend. Almost done. 71 is here. Mempool Punk. Sixes is here. He says, question, the Bitminer SOL USDT address is confusing to me. Any assistance? DM me, Sixes. I'll walk you through that. Cheaty is here. All Ordinal Tweets is here. Inagi is here. Joko says, Glizzy is on fire. Shout out to Joko. And shout out to Glizzy, man. Really killing it. Choda is here. Ernesto Gonzalez is here. Hey. ASAP Benji, Superfan, let's effing go. He's on the show yesterday. Shout out to Superfan. Lackey Lukey is here. Fix is here. Mempool Punk is here. Let's see. 55555 says Shizzy Pump Glizzy. Ordinal Tweets is here. All roads lead to Shizzy. Let's go. And then we have I Walk Alone. Get rich incoming. Let's effing go. Smash that like and share. Yes, listen to him. He's a smart man. Dumbo is here. GM, curious. You have opinion on Memento Mori? Yes, we'll get that out later. Tim Baker is here. Kamal is here. I said Tim Baker twice. D-Love is here. Mats is here. Mike Bennett. No. Shout out to you, my friend. Pelpa is here. Shout out to Pelpa. Ant-Man. Nighthawk. UXL. And then Tarnished. And finishing off with Mempool sneaking in a little late. Shout out to every single one of you guys, man. It's really important to make roll call every single day. We appreciate it. And hell yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Let's get into let's jump to the guest.
Yeah, let's bring them up.
All right, let me get rid of this banner real quick. All right. We got Zero from Debauchery. Shout out to Zero. You guys just had your launch. I'm actually curious of how it went. How are you guys doing mentally? And it was a huge success, by the way.
What's up, guys? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, good.
You're good.
Sounds good. All right, I'm on my earpods. Just want to make sure. Yeah, man. Wow, crazy. Feeling really good. Feeling victorious.
Yeah.
So, what's the process of a launch like that for someone who's not really a builder? You guys, let's just say that morning. What was that? Was it nerve-wracking?
Very. It's a weird thing because I've been involved in like in the background on some other launches, and they've all done well, but they were much smaller. Like much smaller. I'd never been a part of anything large or hyped until Debauchery. So, and it's really difficult to gauge because you're in it, and with Debauchery, I'm in it. I'm in the group. It's an alpha group. It's a community, a large community, which I spend all my time in. And everybody in Debauchery is bullish, but it almost like, okay, is this actually hyped, or is everybody just hyped around me because I'm in it? So you don't really know, it's not something like, and it's kind of new. And so it was, leading up to it, it was like really uncertain. I mean, I felt pretty confident, but at the same time, there's always that voice in the back of your head, like, well, what if no one is actually really bullish and it's just your cult-like community who's bullish, So that part of it was really just a strange sensation. And then also, just making sure when you do a project like that, I mean, your DMs just go crazy. Um, making sure everybody's whitelist is in there and on point. Then you have 1,000 other people asking for a whitelist, and it's just so yeah, very stressful. Um, but now the real work begins, right? So just trying to
Yeah.
zone in and see what we need to do now to continue to grow the project out.
That's
Mhm.
awesome. Yeah. I was witnessing the launch, and it seemed really successful. Were there any I guess issues that you guys ran into, and maybe some advice you could give to someone that's trying to launch something soon?
Well, here's what I'll say. It's pretty broad and not specific. I did a Twitter post about this. Throughout this entire process, the pushback that I got was insane.
Hmm.
Even people who were really close to the project and people who like I trust were telling me that we couldn't do it, that it was going to fail. Not that it was
Wow.
going to not that it was going to fail, like debauchery was going to fail, but no one's going to spend this much. There aren't this many people in Ordinals who care about alpha. It's just an alpha pass, which it's not. But I mean, just an endless stream of negativity. People telling me why we shouldn't do it this way or it's not going to work, and we just disagreed with them, saw things differently. So what I will say is that if you're looking to do something and people are telling you it can't be done, don't listen to them. Do it. Go for it. Go for it, because just the endless stream of naysayers was pretty crazy, and you can't let that get you down. You just if you have a vision and you want to push on it and try to build something, and you believe in what you're doing, maybe it'll be successful, maybe it won't, but don't listen to anybody who tells you that something can't be done. And just go for it is my biggest piece of advice, because you're going to get people who tell you it can't be done. We launched when market volume was really low. There was a huge runes mint happening at the time, which is funny because I just knew in the back of my mind that was going to happen. I'm like, I guarantee when we launch, the mempool's fees are going to go up. There's going to be some crazy mint happening somewhere. It's going to screw everything up, and it did. Everything was kind of against us, and it still worked out. So just go for it, man. Go for it.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
How long did it take for the planning?
In terms of like the launch itself.
Yeah, because I know that I've seen these images for a while now. So like this
Yep.
is not something that was just kind of like 2 weeks ago you guys were like, let's launch something for the community and blah blah blah. So this has been in the works for a while, marinating, right?
Yeah, probably about a year, almost a year.
Wow.
It happened in phases. So the first part of debauchery was the group itself, and then, pardon me, I just took a drink. As the group started picking up steam, and we started noticing that something about debauchery seemed special, and that you had really like influential people joining within the early days of the group and seeming to like be in the server 24 hours a day, and like everybody was telling me that like this is they're having a different experience there. We wanted to reward some of our earliest members, so we started building out the art then, but it was supposed to be really small in scale at first. There was no plan on launching a collection in the traditional sense. It was just going to be 20 or 30 frogs that we kind of just gave out for free to our holders, to our like earliest supporters. And then the group just kept getting larger and larger and larger. So I would say probably around March of 2023, February, March was when the decision was made to like, let's actually do a collection, because the group started to grow really fast, into the thousands. So since then, the art has we really dug heavy into the art side of things. So since March of 2023.
Your Discord just got over 10,000, right? I think that's one of the tweets said. You guys are well over that now, correct?
Well, 11,000, but most of those people can't actually see anything anymore, because if you don't own a frog, you can't. It's token gated. It's gated now, so you have to own an ordinal now.
So let's talk about that for a second. So to get in is just one frog, right? But to get into the war room, is it just lieutenant status, or do you have to have so many frogs?
So there's a couple different ways to get in. So the main, everybody has to have at least one frog to get in, and that was always the plan because you can't have an alpha group with 11,000 people. You just can't, especially in runes and ordinals. You'll ruin charts, and like we've had people just ruin mints because 11,000 people trying to get in on a rune mint. That's not going to work out. So you can't have that. So you have to have one frog to enter the Discord. The ways to enter the war room is the primary way is still what it's always been, which is by merit. So once a month we run we run promotions where we promote people from the lower levels, and that's based on engagement, skilled alpha calls. There's a couple ways to get in, but we primarily look at like who's engaged, who's adding value, who seems to be really digging it there and serious about being there. And then obviously if you're an ace alpha caller, that's the quickest way to get noticed. So you don't have to necessarily buy 5 frogs. You can get in that way. But that's, we only do like, 1 to 3 people a month. If you want to skip that whole process, you can just buy 5 frogs and you get what's called the mercenary role, which gets you right into the war room. And that the whole point there is to kind of make it so we eliminate people who aren't serious, because if you're going to throw down money for 5 frogs, and keep in mind that doesn't really help the project, like, we mint it out. That's what helps the project. But what that does is it shows that you're serious, because if you're going to throw that money down, you're not going to do that unless you're serious about wanting to contribute.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this project is more than our project, right? It's definitely utility. You did say that there's more to come with this besides the alpha pass, but could you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, a lot more. So what we're really trying to do is build a link.
Oh, I think we lost you.
Audio.
That would look like is, for example, Ordi charts was something that we did early on. So we were the first community to build out Ordinals charting with the trading view engine. And that's still live now, and lieutenants have free access to that. The lower levels get a free trial to it, so you can still access it in the lower levels. And we're looking to build out more things like that and partner with more people who can allow our members to have tooling access. So I have a few calls today actually on that, and then we're going to continue to actually build our own stuff with our own dev, and that should all be coming pretty soon.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So I guess are you guys gonna be offering like whitelists to holders as well? Let's just say a project hits you up like, yo, we want to get in with you guys. We'll give you guys guaranteed whitelist spots. As you guys are working on things like that in the background?
Zero, are you there? I think he's having issues.
He's having some connection issues. All right. What do you want to do?
Well,
there he is.
He popped back in here.
There he is.
Hey, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened.
No worries.
No worries.
So I guess my question was like, do you guys are talking to people about potential whitelists for holders for like different projects and stuff like that?
Mic check. Hello.
Yep.
Yeah.
We can hear me? We got you. Did you Zero? Can you hear us? I think he's left. Yeah, I think his audio must be bugging in and out. So, I don't know. Anyways, I know that you minted, one of these, right?
Yep.
And I did as well. And both of us are bullish on it because of the Discord, right? But people might be like, oh, I hate whenever people gatekeep a Discord or whatever, but you have to understand like how long they kept it open without gatekeeping, and then the demand and stuff, right? So that's where I think that comes in. But Zero, you sounds like you're back with us.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure what happened there. Everything started glitching out. We're good now.
No worries.
Yeah, Shizzy had a question for you. He was just asking, so are you guys going to be looking to try to get your holders whitelist with some of these collaborations from these collections that might be coming up and launching? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've been doing that the whole time. So that continues, of course. I mean, that's that's kind of part and parcel. If you want to be a successful NFT or ordinal collection, you have to be able to get your members whitelist to things and giveaways. So for sure, that goes without saying.
Yeah. I got a
Awesome.
question for you. So there's a couple different alpha groups like within our ecosystem community, right? Like I know you have honey badgers, you have a couple other ones. I think the frogs used to, not as much anymore. But it seems like you guys really started to stand out amongst everybody. And you know, there's some big plays that you know we heard about and stuff. One that a lot of people know probably is Gizmo as of late. And there's a lot of people that are known in your Discord, right? So how did you guys build that? Like what was the attraction, you know, to kind of get that high level kind of research type of group together to kind of make some of these calls?
Dude, to be totally honest, so I'm going to answer this with a caveat. So I think I know why, but there's also a part of me that has absolutely no idea how. It just kind of happened. Like the first 300 to 400 people in our like the first members were big people, like big names that everybody knew, which I did not expect. So I mean that certainly helped, but for me, I think the way that we structured it from the very beginning, like the structure of the actual group is really important. In that we promote from within to the role of what's alpha caller. So that allows us to find people who might not even necessarily be known, who are just insane traders. So we don't just there are people in there, like the most notable people in there, like in terms of like Twitter followers or people who are like household names in the space, aren't necessarily alpha callers. They're in there, but they're not alpha callers. The only people who are alpha callers are people who trade effectively. And also, I think what promotes the project, or what makes people want to stay there, because that's really what's about, is people are engaged, is the fact that we're free speech maximalists. This is kind of what I've determined in hindsight is probably the reason. We have two rules: no doxing and no screenshotting the war room. Other than that, you're pretty much free to say whatever you want. And stuff gets pretty crazy sometimes in there because of that, but that's very attractive to a lot of people, because in a lot of places, most discords, you get banned for making certain, you may make jokes, like humor is not allowed if it offends somebody. And if you're offended easily, go find another group, because this is not the place for you. But I think that was missing, and that, like, so a lot of people wanted to spend a lot of time there because it was just an entertaining place to be. And then in the process of that, obviously we're all in this market together. So if you're trading full time in this market and you're only in one Discord because you feel like it's the most entertaining Discord, naturally you're gonna post your calls in there. And I think that's why it happened. If I
So
had to, if I had to pick
so
something.
community came first, basically, is what you're saying. You guys built kind of like a strong community of people that were like-minded, and then from there, those same people just started posting their plays.
It was always intended to be an alpha group for sure. So that was always the goal. And I had the team had the idea of, like, the vision of the structure from the very beginning. But the level of quality of people that were coming in terms of skill, that was something that I was expecting to have to develop over a longer period of time. And I think the reason why we got so many really good notable people right away was because of they were referred, because of the way that the group runs and the fact that it's like a fun place to be. And I think so people would refer people in, be like, hey, check this place out,
Yeah.
pretty early on. And so we were pretty blessed in that way. And a lot of it, man, this goes back to the other 50%, is kind of just this weird thing where we caught lightning in a bottle, and I don't even really know how it happened. It just kind of all happened.
Yeah. Well,
Awesome.
I don't think it was all luck. You guys obviously have been working hard for a while. So congrats on, the successful launch and everything. But looks like Shizzy's looking at the collection here.
Yeah, I have a question. Can you see the screen?
I can, yes.
Is there anything in here that is like, are you shocked that's on the floor? Anything here that you're like, oh wow, I can't believe that one's on the floor?
Right now, No, but anytime it happens, it gets immediately bought. It's happened. It's
Gotcha.
happened quite a few times, and I actually tried to buy a few. Anytime one hits the floor, someone will bring it up, and I'll go in there to buy it, and it's already gone. And there's been a ton of snipe wars. Our one of the team members actually helped create the Hunter S. Thompson frog. It's kind of like a one of one, really rare frog. He was determined to
Gotcha.
get it, and ended up paying $4,000 in a snipe war
Woo!
with somebody to get it. Ended up getting it, but yeah, anytime something crazy hits the floor, it's pretty much snapped up. Scroll up for a minute. There was one earlier that I saw. I think it might have got bought. Yeah, it got bought. It got bought.
Yeah.
Probably that fish hat. The fish hats are relatively rare. That's one that I'm kind of surprised is there.
What's this one right here?
Down,
Awesome.
down.
You guys heard it. Down more?
There you go. The fish hat. See the fish hat?
Scroll
In the
up a
middle?
little bit.
Oh, right here.
Yeah. No, it's
Okay, I think you meant the fish on the head.
No, there's a fish hat. It's a hat that's a fish. See, he's got the
Yeah.
chrome in the
Right here.
background. That one right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, that's a pretty rare trade.
Oh, that was pretty dope. Yeah, man. Yeah, I love the art, and that's what's amazing about this project. It's more than that, right? Because like we don't like to showcase projects that just come on just the art, but projects like yours that actually have substance behind it. And I'm in the war room, and I absolutely love it. It's one of the first places I check in the morning just to make sure that there's any mints that I'm not missing and stuff like that. I'm not too active with putting stuff in there, but I read constantly. You know what I mean? I let
You
the bigger
pop in with
guys,
comments
the
every
alpha
now and again.
colors.
You pop in every
Yeah, every now and then I'll
with
pop
a
in.
comment.
Yeah,
I have a question about
yo, what's
something,
the
definitely.
alpha? Yo, what's the alpha?
But yeah, it's fun. If you guys are not in the Discord, I'm gonna drop that in the chat here, so you guys can I think join up. You will need a frog to get in. But Zero, man, it's been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for dropping in our live stream. But I'd love to give you the stage to talk to our audience.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you for having me.
Yep. Any last words or anything you got for the audience?
Yeah, don't get shaken out, man. It's looking bullish. That's all
Let's
it says.
go.
I have one more question. I lied. I'm sorry. What do you think about this memento, man? What are the guys saying in the war room with the memento mori?
Well, a lot of the members had actually been subscribing from like really early on in anticipation of something like this. So a lot of our members are gonna feast prolifically, probably. But
Wow.
it's kind of mixed, right? I'm not sure. I'm staying out of it personally because I didn't
Okay.
subscribe. So probably one of those things where like if you were a subscriber, you're probably gonna get a really nice airdrop. If fees get to like 1,000 sat per V byte, it's probably going to be down only if you try to mint it. So it's kind of like a mixed bag. There are a couple people who are really bullish on it. I'm undecided. I mean, I didn't subscribe, and I'm not going to chase it for myself. But
Yeah.
if you were able to subscribe and you get that airdrop, then you're probably going to do pretty well. I mean, it's probably the most hyped rune mint of all time. So it's
Yeah.
whether or not it performs after or not is another story, but yet to be determined.
What's your market cap that you would say, you know what, I'm gonna get in this? Like 3 million, 5 million, 7 million. Like, is there anything that you would be like, okay, that's the price. If it hits that market cap, that's when I buy.
I don't really have market cap targets like that when I buy. I look
got you.
for accumulation ranges. So like, I mean, obviously if it's like ridiculously overvalued, even if it puts in a range, let's say it launches, it has like a short 2x pump, but like it's obviously if it's an airdrop, then you're printing, right, because you're up tremendously. But then all of a sudden it sells off to like say a 10 million market cap, and it goes sideways. I might be interested in potentially buying some there when it goes sideways. So I look for chart patterns that indicate that it's floored and there's an accumulation happening. But if that same thing happens at like, and it's making a sideways floor at like 50 million, I probably won't buy it. I probably honestly won't buy it at all. I'm not really personally that bullish on it, but I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
That's I think that me and Yagobi have that same idea here. But I'm not gonna buy it. If I see that like 4 million, I'll probably pick up some. Not a huge bag, but maybe like 1%, 2% of my portfolio type of thing, and then
Yeah.
just kind of hold it for long term. But again, I'm gonna get dumped on by the airdrop guys, right? So
Yeah. And then also there's the whole concept of like, there's two ways of thought on this, but generally, if I see something that seems like an incredibly crowded trade, I usually don't take it. And this is definitely a crowded trade. But there's also some things that are just so obvious that people almost mid curve it a little bit. So I could see that happening too, where it's like so many people think that this is a crowded trade that they don't participate, and therefore it's no longer a crowded trade. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of saw that with like Dog and some other things that, really all you had to do was just like hold the runestone token and you made a ton of money. Um, but a lot of people also faded it because it was like a dumb ticker. It didn't really seem like it was going to be that good. And then all of a sudden it printed for people. Because same with Node Monkeys. I don't know if you remember Node Monkeys,
Yes.
but
No, that's exactly what last second I had this gut feeling of exactly what you're talking about, is that like people are overthinking it because of the Dutch auction and all that stuff. And I ended up I called Shizzy actually. I took my dogs to the dog park and I was like, hey, I need you to buy me a couple of node monks. He's like, I gotta look for the Bitcoin. So I just drove home as fast as I could with my dogs, and I just picked up like two off a secondary right afterwards. But absolutely, I think that's a great example of what you're talking about there.
I admittedly was one of the people who totally faded Node Monks. I completely missed it. I totally faded. I mid curved the heck out of it. So
I mean, I
I
can
have done
see
that before.
why. Like it just like there was a lot of negative energy after. There's like a lot of positive energy and then a ton of negative energy. And so I was like, what's gonna happen? So I mean, you were rolling the dice, I think, either way. But I was like, I'm gonna do it.
And it paid off. So this could be one of those. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting to. It's the first thing that the one thing that is interesting about it is there's been Casey adjacent stuff that hasn't done very well, but this, to my knowledge, is the first thing that he's ever actually done himself that has been buyable or something you could actually purchase. Obviously, the first inscription is one that's not purchasable. And so that is kind of a first. So I think there will definitely be a lot of volume on it. It's probably going to spike the volume, the daily volume, to insane levels. So it'll be fun to watch and see how it all plays out.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Well, it's been absolutely awesome. Thank you again, Zero.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Too, buddy. I love that dude. That's my guy, man. I'm in that alpha group, guys. If you want to get in, like I said, all you need is a frog, and if you want to skip everything and kind of get right into the war room, which not financial advice, but I think is definitely worth the price you're paying for that, because the alpha in there comes in strong. So definitely check out the debauchery. I will actually find the Discord link for you guys and put it inside so you guys can check that out as well. But let's jump to our next topic here. It's kind of a big topic for us. All roads lead to Bitcoin. Cardano joins the BTC ecosystem. So we have a partner who's been telling us this for a while. Raul from Fluid Token's been saying, guys, don't fade Cardano here. And he's not talking about the token, he's talking about the ecosystem and what they're doing with Bitcoin. And I couldn't put aside the token, right? The token that's been pushed down my throat by so many bigger name people in a space. And I couldn't put that aside, but kind of separating the token from the ecosystem is pretty massive, correct?
Yeah. So this is gonna get interesting because as you guys know, Fluid they originally built on Cardano, and I feel like they had a lot to do with this kind of influence of Charles Hoskinson's basically saying, "Hey, Bitcoin might not be as bad as I thought." But from a technical level, it can't be a layer 2 because you can't like do transactions from Cardano onto Bitcoin's chain, but you can bridge Bitcoin assets to Cardano, which is really, really interesting. So, I mean, there's a way to, and you can bridge them back as well, obviously. So, I have some notes basically how this kind of will work, right? Cardano coming in, and Bitcoin OS is going to play a big part. And if you guys are in the space, you've heard of them. Yago, which is a Bitcoin developer, is leading that project. And look, he's partnering with Merlin Chain. He's partnering now with Cardano. He was at this big Cardano event. So I'm going to give you guys some kind of breakdown here of how it will work. As you guys know, Cardano's UTXO chain, it has smart contracts already enabled, right? So, with Opcat, that's something that people are going to try to do over here. So the other part about Cardano is it's a proof of stake chain, but it's also UTXO, which makes it compatible with zero knowledge. Zero knowledge is actually zero knowledge provers, however you want to say it. It's really friendly with UTXO chains. And so that's where Bitcoin OS comes in. That's what their specialty is, right? So that's where they're going to work with Fluid to be the bridge that's going to allow the moving of assets from Bitcoin to Cardano and vice versa from Cardano to Bitcoin, because it's going to be locked in a ZK script, kind of similar to the staking, right? That Fluid does on layer 1. So at that point, like let's say you do bridge Bitcoin to Cardano, it's trustless, right? So there's no MPC or anything like that. You can earn yield with your Bitcoin on Cardano. It's basically an example that they gave us, right? So Fluid tokens, I already kind of told you what the role is going to be. It's going to be more of like the bridging type role, because what Fluid's going to do is they're going to allow Bitcoin wallets to kind of be able to, bridge over back and forth, without downloading a Cardano wallet. You just only need the Bitcoin wallet, and you can earn the yield and stuff from that. So that's where it's going to feel native, very native. And you can do that because they're both UTXO chains, and they figured out how to be able to do that. So super interesting. The interesting part, I think, is going to be it's going to be like, okay, so will these swaps on Cardano actually build up momentum for maybe runes or something that you bridge over there, right? I don't know what that's going to look like, but you can technically, utilize them in a smart contract AMM type of situation. We've seen with MPC wallets or some sort of, what was it, multi-sig approach. People have done that with Solana. Not so much success, right? In terms of volume, but we'll see. We'll see how this works, because it is different in terms of being trustless. We got a couple comments down here. Ant-Man says, I believe you can use ADA to make a transaction on Bitcoin. So I know you can use ADA for gas. I do know that. It allows you to use it for gas. And I think that's because you can use, because the wallets read each other's chains. But I don't think it can technically be a layer 2, because Bob Bodley came out and said, it can't, like, what a layer 2 does is, actually reads block Bitcoin and does multiple transactions. And I think you have that there.
Yeah, it's funny you said that, because you read my mind with that. I wanted to grab Bob's tweet, because a question I want to ask you. No, Bob Bodley, someone that we admire dearly, he said, no, Cardano is not a Bitcoin L2. No, Cardano will never be a Bitcoin L2. Yes, you can bridge your Bitcoin to Cardano. Yes, you could pay Cardano gas fees with Bitcoin eventually. So does this change if Opcat is enabled? Could you finalize Cardano transactions on Bitcoin, making it a layer 2?
I think
using Opcat?
I think the reason why he's saying that, because I think if you look down below, it's because of the way that Cardano is built out. You would have to change the structure of the chain for it to do
I
that.
gotcha.
Yeah.
And
so
blockchain,
but-
it has its
but-
own consensus mechanism.
yeah, but you don't necessarily need that, right? Like if you can do
Yeah.
these other things already right now, even without Opcat, right? That's huge. And then, some other stuff, you don't always have to like finalize, on Bitcoin or anything like that. I think the cool part is that, a Bitcoin wallet can read Cardano's chain and vice versa, right? So that's where I think that's why you can pay with ADA for a Bitcoin transaction. Now, I don't know how Bitcoiners. I do know that Bitcoiners don't like this whole conversation, especially like laser eyes. They hate it, right? Because if someone's paying with ADA, then you're not paying with Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're probably also talking about like how much Charles was talking bad about Bitcoin and all this stuff. But I think it's good for the overall ecosystem from a healthy level, right? Like Cardano might find some utility, right? They already have like smart contracts, and we've seen from Fluid, their developers are really talented. You know what I mean? So they're over here, like Fluid's the only one that I know of that has a staking service, right, on Bitcoin's native layer. So I made $270 worth of Billy staking 10 Billy cats, and I cashed out today, and that was awesome for just 1 month, right? So I expect more of that kind of innovation, and then this bridge is going to be amazing to see. At the end of the day, like if you can bring liquidity from Cardano over here too, that's a bonus, right? And vice versa. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. It's happening. People aren't going to be able to stop it. So
Yeah. I mean, you guys remember too is like imagine taking, dog go to the moon or billion dollar cat to Cardano and using those mechanisms for DeFi, right? That's the dreams that I dream at night, right? Taking these runes and actually giving them utility. Because let's just say somebody wanted to create a rune as their project, someone like potentially like Fluid who eventually have a rune, but let's just say a newer project wanted to put DeFi on there, they can just bridge their rune to Cardano, bridge their rune to Fractal, bridge their rune to pretty much anywhere in the future, and you're gonna be able to do DeFi with these tokens. They don't just because they're born on Bitcoin doesn't mean that they live there forever, and doesn't mean they can't come back. So I think this is just another mechanism to make Bitcoin DeFi the biggest thing in this upcoming bull run, and I think all the puzzle pieces are kind of coming in place. You have EVM with Merlin, you have your UTXO with Cardano and Fractal and so many others, and you have other EVMs as well. But I feel like all the pieces are kind of connecting for Bitcoin DeFi to really, really be that push forward for this ecosystem.
Yeah. And one other thing I kind of wanted to ask you and get your opinion on was, the last thing I think we want to happen to Bitcoin though is to be like how Ethereum is right now. And there's a lot of outflow coming out of Ethereum right now, like the most out of any ecosystem, any chain in crypto. And I was trying to figure out like why did that happen? Why is it happening? Number one, and also like how can we prevent that from happening on Bitcoin? Because like if Bitcoin ends up getting opcat and then they add other opcodes to have an AMM situation, and like the shit coinery gets like really crazy, like so does it end up having a similar fate to what's happening with Ethereum right now? And I think that would be horrible. So in my mind, I'm like I might just be okay with like having these kind of scaling solutions like Arch Network and ICP and Cardano and stuff like that, and really doing it that way versus trying to build these shitcoin casinos on. We already have them, but we have them in a way to where I think it's not getting like to the point to where the chain is exhausted and all these things. Like why is there so much outflow with Ethereum, do you think?
So I vote because there's just no buildup, there's no hype, there's not the communities are just not consistent, right? The communities hop around a lot. I think that's the problem with the shitcoins and stuff. The shitcoinery on Ethereum was, everyone feels like that was last cycle's thing, right? That I think that's the big problem is everyone sees that Solana is kind of like this cycle's shitcoin mecca. It's cheaper, fun, centralized, which people don't care about, but it's just kind of like that's why there's not enough people in here to uphold communities that really stick with it. So I do think Ethereum eventually does come back, but I do see a lot of people newer people coming in, kind of settling with Bitcoin and Solana rather than Ethereum and all these layer twos. And that's the thing too. All these layer twos, what they did was they took a chain and took communities and just destroyed them because they just took them everywhere. Some are at base, some are on Matic, and some were on all the other ones, Optimism and Arbitrum and what is it, layer 0, and there's just hundreds and hundreds of layer 2s, and I think that's a problem for
I mean,
Ethereum.
what about Bitcoin? Like people are trying to take that similar approach, right?
Yeah, but I could name 7 or 8, but I can name potentially 20, 25 Ethereum ones. But yeah, do I think that one? I think that happens eventually, to your point. But I think for this cycle, I think you're going to see a lot of everything kind of really happening on the top L2s, which is Merlin, Fractal, potentially Cardano, and on Bitcoin as well, and kind of just keeping the communities to a smaller ratio than spreading them out gigantic. But it did take 4 years for Ethereum to really spread. But I think it does happen to Bitcoin as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, and then another thing too, I think their tokenomics really hurts them in bear markets, like whenever there's not
Yeah.
high volume, because, the whole idea behind their tokenomics was like deflationary sound money, the whole bankless thing, but we didn't see very deflationary, you know what I mean? Because there wasn't a ton of volume, right? And so, but there's still, tokens emissions coming out and stuff. So that is one thing I think Bitcoin has, though, right? The 21 million will always be the 21 million. And so I think maybe that will prevent it. from happening. But again, if we are in a bull market, we're going to see the answer of the deflationary mechanism of Ethereum to see if things like really get crazy. Does it really speed up the value? Because that's what the premise was behind that. Because then obviously that changes the game a bit. But yeah, I was just wondering because I felt like that was something that was interesting, and I don't want that to happen to Bitcoin. And the way that the marketplaces are right now, it doesn't move fast enough for it to kind of outflow so fast like that. So
Yeah. And the thing is too is like, so we're in a point right now where, again, going back to the Google searches, there's not much interest right now, right? So I think that's the problem with something like Ethereum. I feel like the community is just like, oh wow, it's the same old shit from 4 years ago. Whether on Bitcoin, it's like everything's brand new and shiny, right? I think that's the difference right now. But eventually, it could get that way. But I think we have enough participants this cycle that really stick with this, coming from all these other places and really living in a UTXO chain, UTXO models, and these L2s that you can use EVM. It's like Bitcoin just has everything that you possibly need. You can do pretty much any type of degen that you are. Here's the perfect place to be.
right now,
Well, in the future, in this ecosystem.
okay, yeah. Also, it might be perfect timing for Bitcoin's ecosystem growth because the renaissance because of TradFi and these serious projects that come in, and there might be some crazy valued projects on Bitcoin in the future with that kind of money. So we'll see.
100%. All right, let's kind of get into this one right here. So UniWorlds, this week we will launch the first experience version following our product adjustments. So they have this giant article. Me and you both read it this morning. It sounds like they're doing a pivot, correct?
That's what it sounded like to me. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was like an announcement without like clarity.
I know.
They repeated the same thing in like 3 of those paragraphs, and I was just like, I'm glad I'm not like in UniWorlds because I would be super frustrated. I was actually frustrated for people just reading that.
Yeah.
Like what is it now? Are they still building on Fractal? Like what the heck is going on?
Yeah, I felt the same way. I was reading it and I was like, so originally you're building a metaverse. And then I heard you're building a metaverse for Fractal. And now it's like, what are you doing? It's kind of like, what do you like? How do you pivot from a metaverse? Like, where do you pivot from? It was a terrible article. And I think whoever is the social media person should be, have somebody kind of watching over them because this was awful. This was absolutely awful. Obviously we do know they're an Asian company, so it could be a language barrier as well. But I just think this was poorly written, not enough answers, not enough information. Just annoying. I wish this never came out.
Yeah. Like I said, I would be a lot more frustrated. I know you have some keys and stuff, so you're probably frustrated, but
Yeah.
I don't have any. And so for me, I was just kind of like, okay, like it's frustrating reading it,
Yeah.
because you were like, hey, check it out. And as I was reading it, I was like getting angry. And I was like, why am I mad? Like, I don't even hold anything here. But then afterwards, I was like, I'm glad I don't hold anything because it really was. It was like an announcement that they are not continuing to do what we didn't know what they were going to do. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the only thing that we knew is that it was like a bunch of worlds in this metaverse kind of environment on Fractal. So I don't know. Maybe they drop something soon. I suggest that they do, just to give more clarity, man, because there was no clarity there.
100%. I agree. Jan says new feature on Express app lets you hide your wallet balance so your wife or girlfriend never finds out how much you lost on meme coins. Is this a feature that we needed? Do we really need to hide our balances?
Is this serious? Or is this a joke?
Serious. No, it's a serious. Yep.
I know he's probably just putting a joke in there, but like, I mean, I don't know. I guess like any features people are going to be happy with. Like if you keep adding features, Xverse is the innovative Bitcoin wallet, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I know that they're in love with Stacks, and it looks like Stacks turned Nakamoto on, so maybe people are going to use it for Stacks more. But people just use Xverse in general. I know that's your favorite wallet, or one of them. And so this is just something, and even one of our partners said that they're going to maybe do a new feature for them, which we'll get into later.
Yeah, I mean, Fluid already has a feature, and there's going to be other ones as well. I mean, Fluid is a staking. You have to use Xverse. And I think that the point is too, is like, it's the two wallets, right? I think that gives them easier use, especially when you're using these Bitcoin opcodes and stuff like that, the way Raul is using them. I think it does it is easier when there's a pay wallet and there's a receive wallet, two different types. And they just added yesterday, they added native SegWit. They used to have nested SegWit. So if you see nested SegWit, it starts with a 3. Native SegWit starts with a BC. So it's very similar to what Unisat does with their wallets. You can switch back and forth from your native SegWit to your Taproot. But I love Taproot when I'm using the Unisat wallet. But with this, it's kind of cool because what the native SegWit is actually cheaper, a lot cheaper than and that was one of the upgrades when it went to Taproot. Taproot also upgraded SegWit a little bit, and in the fact that it is cheaper. So Taproot is a lot cheaper with fees than it is than native SegWit and nested SegWit. But
why is that?
Native is definitely it's just the way the transactions are built in that it's more they kind of do everything in a pool based rather than just single transactions.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So
so they're just making a lot of moves, but I know with that BTC that they might be doing something too. We'll get into that later though.
Yeah. You missed it yesterday, but we talked about this. We're going to talk about it on Monday as well. But Foxy Bitminer, the Cosmics are now officially mining TAP tokens. So if you have a Cosmic miner, you are mining the TAP token. So if you have a Cosmic, you are set because you're owning the Foxy token and the TAP token now, and potentially even USDT down the line. We don't know if that's still a thing or not, or maybe they use the USDT to buy the TAP. We got to talk to them about that. But I think down the line, there's going to be lots and lots of mining rewards for the people that are using the Foxy Bitminer ecosystem.
Yeah, I think it was Sixes or somebody in our community put a chat in about the USDT Sol, maybe.
Yeah,
we'll try to get some information for you on that, and maybe talk about it tomorrow on the show, if they're even offering that yet. But yeah, I mean, super bullish on that, right? Like if you can mine TAP tokens, but that was the whole point of this Bitminer, right? Is that like you would mint it, which a lot of people said it was a high price, but then now you can mine TAP tokens, which are going for almost $7 each, and they're $700 right now on secondary. So
yeah, I mean, not bad at all. So it's officially Wager Wednesday, guys. We have we had a partner for a while, and they're actually live right now. So and we're actually allowed for the first time ever. We're allowed to drop the link. Do you guys want to play with it? Do you guys want to play with BetBTC? Because we can drop the link. So it goes live on Friday, and it will be betbtc.win. But today, you can access it early because you're Ordinal Revolution members or just Ordinal Revolution watchers or listeners. You go to beta.betbtc.win, and you guys have early access. You can get in there right now. But yeah, I'm getting in there right now. I'm gonna set some things up. But what is BetBTC while I'm setting this up?
BetBTC is we got Wager Wednesdays by BetBTC. Add that what URL on there. Don't go to that one. Shizzy's gonna drop the one that you guys can have access to now. This one, the betbtc.win, will be live Friday. But yeah, so BetBTC is a predictions market, guys, that is utilizes ICP and Bitcoin technology. So they've integrated Xverse, Unisat, I believe, as well, and maybe the other. But Xverse is the preferred wallet. They're going to Xverse in the future. We don't know when, but they're going to make the deposit a little bit more seamless. But right now, you do have to follow some steps. And we're going to drop the tutorial video for you guys probably late tonight or early tomorrow. But yeah, so that's what it is. You can it's just like Polymarket, except for the Bitcoin ecosystem. And there's going to be a lot more social features to this.
Yep. So I'm officially signed in. I got my image up here. I got my name. So you guys can actually go to beta.betbtc.win. You'll go sign in with your wallet. And if you're having issues, because in the beginning, it took me a few seconds to really get started. We're going to do a full tutorial from start to finish with this later. We're going to do it later tonight. It should be out probably tomorrow. I would say tomorrow afternoon. But again, on Friday, you won't need beta in front of it. You can just use betbtc.win. I'm sure this will still take you to where you want to be anyway. But there'll be no changes. If you add money to this one, you'll have it in the normal one as well. This is just the beta version. But guys, this is pretty cool because you can kind of go up here and you can type in what is it? Memento.
I think
MEN.
it's yeah. I think it's actually if you just scroll
EN.
down, there it is,
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
you can. But I just wanted to show the search bar here. Memento More.
It's that. I mean, if you just did Memento, it pulls up all three.
Does it?
Yep, right there. If you scroll down a little bit.
Oh, okay, they're all here. Cool.
Yep.
So these are the bets here. You guys can see them here. It says, will gas fees exceed $50 during the Memento More? I think this is a yes, right?
The etching event. Yeah. How much you gonna bet? You got $64.
Go-
So do
I'll go
60.
$5.
Oh man.
Whoa!
I'm just
I
kidding.
want to do a couple more here. So I'm
I'm
gonna go
just
$5 on this one. And guys, what I'm doing as well, I'm earning points. I'm kind of chasing some leaderboard. I want to be number 1 on the leaderboard, and we could show you that in a few seconds. But this is really cool. It takes a few seconds, but then it works, and you should see something pop up right here. I think I remember this one is still beta, so this should be faster next time. But this one, next one is, will Memento, there it goes. Will Memento More have a market cap of over 10 million? What do you think?
I'm gonna say yes. Within 48 hours?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. Because of airdrop.
We'll go $5.
why.
We'll go $5 on that one. And you guys can go as low as $1. So just so you don't have to have big money to play with this. You can just kind of keep doing your thing. Okay, over this one. Will Memento More mint out in 12 hours of launch? I think this is an easy yes for me, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go yes.
Because I want to. What's the percentage that's gonna be left for public?
50% of the supply.
Okay.
So we'll wait for this thing to kind of kick through. There it goes. Your bet is placed successfully, and do it again. And I'm betting with Bitcoin here. I can actually switch this if I wanted to where it shows Bitcoin. And I can just switch it back there, but I already put $5 in, so that's what it's going to come up to. And let's just say you go to the top here, you see my balance. So this is CK Bitcoin. So how this works is you will have to kind of go to the top here. And again, we're going to have this all in a video for later, but I just want to show you guys, for people who are trying to get in early, my trade just went through. You guys can go to wallet, and then you guys can so you'll have to copy this address and send your Bitcoin. So you will have to wait 6 Bitcoin blocks, and you can check that. It should say here when you do it, when it should get green. I'm hearing. So you guys will know exactly when your CK Bitcoin is ready. And then the same thing when you want to withdraw it, you just withdraw it. This is all done through ICP's technology. So it's not like you're sending them the Bitcoin, you're sending it all through a wallet, and it gives you the CK Bitcoin on the other side for the bridge, right? That's how it works.
Yeah. It actually mints CK chain key Bitcoin for you to use within this environment. And then whenever you send it out, it burns the chain key Bitcoin and sends your regular Bitcoin to your X-First wallet.
Chain key Bitcoin. I love it. What about this one? Who do you think is going to win? Who's going to be winner of the 2024 election? Who's going to
win? You know who it is. You know what it is. That one you can do $100. Do 100. No,
Honey on Donnie. Oh, I got 60, bro. All right, what about this one? What will be the price of Bitcoin BTC at the end of 2024?
I like this one.
Below 50K, between 50 and 60, or others?
More options. See more options. Definitely none of those two.
All right, so let's see the more options.
Maybe click that.
Oh, I like that. I didn't know you could even do that. That's really cool.
I'll say above 70K.
Above 70K. Let's do it.
Ooh, 72 cents though per.
It pays out 72 cents on the dollar, right?
Ooh,
that what it means?
Yeah. But it's so $5 because it's probably just so hard to predict. Maybe.
Yeah.
So they're like giving you good odds for all of them. That's interesting.
And if you guys think I'm wrong, bet against me, and then post your screenshot when you beat me, because that would be fun to see. So guys, definitely check out beta.betbtc today. Beta.betbtc.win today, and then on Friday you will officially be able to use the official site, betbtc.win. So
So and there's some updates in terms of some new features as well that's going to be coming as well, as in like creating your own market. So that's whenever me and Shizzy are going to be going head to head on this stuff, right? So basically the make your own market, they're shooting for kind of the middle of November, maybe the end, kind of the beginning of the middle of November, around that date. So basically, like if I want to create, me and Shizzy get into it about, I don't know, Bitcoin's price or something, and we think, I say 250, he says 700K or whatever. We can create that market, and you guys can bet on it too. And whoever creates the market actually earns a percentage. So as a market maker, you earn. I think it's like 1% or something like that. We'll find out the exact details, but I think that's going to actually really take off, because if you have a strong social presence, man, you can really do well on those. And then also you can do like a bet your friends on the social side. That's going to be a little bit longer. I think it's going to be like maybe a week later, maybe towards the third week or the end of November. So look out for those 2 updates. And then we will also put out the tutorial probably early in the morning tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. So we're gonna make it tonight. We'll send it over to those guys. Make sure it is the right information, and then we will get that out as soon as possible. As soon as they give us the okay with it, and it'll also be here. They're gonna put it right here. Watch demo. It's gonna be our video that we make. It's gonna be right here, and then we're gonna actually gonna update for them every 2 weeks, so you guys can constantly get the highest updates and all that stuff. It'll always be watch demo and stuff like here. But this is something new they added. Hi Shizzy, welcome to BTC. And you guys can actually come in and you can customize everything. If you go to I think it's wallet. No, that's the wallet. I think it's my activity. Home. Hold up. Where did I do that at? All right, so it is. Oh, you got a leaderboard. This is pretty cool. Oh, Shizzy number 1. Shizzy number 1. Shizzy number 1.
Master tester.
So I got 210 points. My volume is a lot higher than Edward's here. Crazy Crab. This is probably some testing that they've been doing. So this is cool. And I'm earning points. Remember, so if I go to my activity and then go to rewards, you guys can see that I earned 50 points for setting up my profile. I got 100 points for my first bet, and then 10 for every bet after. And I'm pretty sure after 20 bets, you get another bonus. So everything is right there. You can see your transactions, your notifications, your payouts, the leaderboard, your settings here. Okay, this is the settings. This is where I was able to put my image, and I was able to change my name, Shizzy, Ordinal Revolution co-host, and everything here. So, and if you guys want to send, let's just say you have another account, you can send the CK Bitcoin to, this is your ICP address that comes with your wallet. So you can actually send this to another account that you create to get your funds from one to another. Or if you have a friend who's like, yo, can you send me $5 so I can make this bet? You can actually just say, hey, give me your principals, and copy their principals and send it over. So pretty cool. And I love that fact that it's so fast. I mean, for Bitcoin.
For sure. So it's going to be really, really fun. They have some other crazy ideas that I can't really talk about right now, but just know that it's up in the air. Other Bitcoin assets possibly being used, but it's not an official thing yet. But I think that would be amazing. Anyhow, yeah. So super exciting. Look out for that tutorial, and I think that's it on the Wager Wednesdays. You placed your bets. We'll check on them once those expire, which November 6th. And what's the other one? When's the mint for
the end of the year? I think it was right for the Bitcoin price. Oh, and the Memento Mori ones. Okay. Yeah, it was will I think I'm gonna win on all these actually. Will Memento Mori mint out within 12 hours? I think that's easy. Let me actually show it one more time here so that way you guys can see what I'm talking about. Will Memento Mori have a market cap of over 10 million with 1248? I think it hits that early. I think it hits that like with the gas fees and kind of settles down there. Right? Because 50% is probably still, I doubt Casey's gonna do the airdrop right away. He's probably gonna wait like a little while. So you might see this skyrocket. This is an easy bet for me. I'm about to put the house on it. Will gas fees exceed $50 during the Memento etching event? I think so, right?
Yeah, I think so too. What about that $50? Oh, I don't know. That's pretty high. But what is that Microsoft one?
Will Microsoft shareholders vote to invest in Bitcoin?
Ooh.
Remember so last week they had a vote, and I think it was no, actually. So I'm not sure.
So that might be an expired one right there. Yeah.
It ends December. So they could still vote again, right? Okay. So you do have another month and a half. So potentially, if Microsoft does buy Bitcoin, that means it was a yes, and you win that poll.
Yep. Awesome.
All right, guys. Amazing show today, man.
Yep. It was a good show. Sorry, my energy wasn't as high as it normally is. I'm still a little bit groggy. got some pain, so I'm taking some painkillers as well. But be right back at it tomorrow. 231 of you guys are watching us, and we appreciate you guys. It is a Wednesday. We're gonna get through this week. Bitcoin is looking pretty good. We do need to hit that all-time high, though. I think at least in the first week of November, that would be really great. But if you guys do have some time, please check out our partners. We just went over BetBTC. Look out for that tutorial video tonight. It's going to be important for you guys to go over that just so you can see how to deposit and stuff like that. It's really simple, but we want to educate whoever needs it, right? So you can place those bets that Shizzy bet. I would go opposite of him on everything so you can win. Just kidding. And then BitPerp, the perpetual leverage decks. We always talk about them every day, guys. One last thing too. We need you guys' addresses for the BitPerp one. We can get that at a later time, but for the orange pills, I'm going to go over that after I go over this, because we need to button that up today. Anyways, BitPerp, the competition is going to go for another 4 or 5 weeks, and there's 100,000 BTP that's on the line there. So if you win, you get that. At the market cap they're talking about, it's a good range in terms of price or value of prize. So if you have any questions or any issues, let us know about that as well. Ordinal Hive is a aggregator ordinal marketplace on Bitcoin Layer 1 and Layer 2. So you'll be able to find the cheapest ordinals on Bitcoin Layer 1 or Merlin chain. They're going to aggregate from all the marketplaces. They have great trading tools, great analytics as well. You can see what's hot, what's not, stuff like that. Check them out at beta.ordinalhive.io. And you can earn points by listing and buying and selling. So make sure you check them out. Foxy, building in the Tap ecosystem, the Bitverse, as well as the Clan Wars. We're going to have some information coming out very soon. I know I keep talking about it every day, but if you are a holder of the Ordinal Revolution Pass or a paid subscriber, you will receive a special sniper rifle that is only going to be, it's going to be the only sniper rifle in the game is the Ordinal Revolution branded one. And then we're going to do a launch for just the regular standard one as well. So keep your eyes open for that. And they are doing great things with the Bitminer. Shizzy has like 5 of those earning. Consti doesn't have a Cosmic, but might pick one up after today, $700.
Seriously, dude. Oh man.
Anyways, Fluid tokens. If you are a builder and a founder of an ordinal collection of runes, and you want your community to be able to earn, like we did with the Billy Cats, earn $270 in 1 month. I think Shizzy did pretty good himself. But you can reach out to their CTO, Raul, right? These guys are amazing builders. I expect there to be a lot of vaults. I hope there's a new Billy Cats vault, because I will definitely stake them right away if there's one that's created, because 1 month is nothing. Also, they're going to be in the news a lot, guys. They were at that Cardano Bitcoin conference, so they're going to be participating in. They're going to be building the bridge, right, with Bitcoin OS. So look out for that, as well as their Rune Swap. I think their products are just going to get better and better with their experience as UTXO devs. And then finally, Merlin Chain, guys. 12 different builders building Telegram front end Merlin apps that are going to be working in the back end with the users not even realizing that they're messing with crypto. So it's going to be awesome. I can't wait till that happens. I believe here in the next 2 weeks, we'll be able to see and test those out. I think it's a great idea to onboard to the Bitcoin ecosystem. But if you are a builder and you're interested in scaling out your protocol, reach out to Merlin Chain's team. They will support you guys. If you're serious builders, you can apply for the grant, just like Jake Gallen and Emblem Vault did, and many others. So check them out. And also, I'm getting a little bullish on Hoo. That's not financial advice, but it's Merlin Swap has kept that liquidity pool going, and I think it's every chain's gonna have its meme token, and that's the one that started there. So we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it goes to 0, but I think it doesn't. I think it goes the other way.
Hoo on Merlin, Glizzy on Fractal. What's the number one Bitcoin meme? Would you say?
You know what it is? Come on now. BTC. Let's go.
Okay. I guess it's up for debate. But guys,
$1 million cat.
If you guys wouldn't mind, go and check out ordinalrevolution.com. We have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone just entering the space, send them our website. We really feel like it can help them really get caught up to where we're at today. And if you guys need a VPN, we have a NordVPN. I think it's 70% off if I remember correctly, but it's here. And to access, a lot of these websites in the future, being an American citizen sucks, but it is not illegal to have a VPN. It is privacy, and we are allowed privacy here. Do not let these big companies and stuff like that know exactly where you're at. It's not good for you. It's not good for anything. Use a VPN. It is protection that you need. Also, if you guys are going to Bitcoin Las Vegas, we will both be there. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Bitcoin in Vegas party. Oh, guys, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. But if you guys need tickets, do not wait for next year. Yes, this is in May, but as we get closer, the higher the tickets price go up. Right now, a whale pass is $3,000. You don't need a whale pass, but if you wanted one, $3,000. But we've seen them go to $30,000 in Bitcoin Nashville a week before the event. So definitely check out Bitcoin 25. You can access this through ordinalrevolution.com. And if you need some merch to wear at any point, at anything, we have some of the best merch in the place. Just hit the store. It'll take you to our Shopify. This is done through a third party. We do not see your address. We do not see your name. We don't not see anything. So definitely check out our Shopify. Check out some of the dopest gear, school bags and stuff like that. We have so much here. If you go to view all, and you can actually see every single thing that we have here: hoodies, shirts, jackets, and much, much more. And guys, we are live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. So these times might change next week as we hit daylight savings time this week. Is it this weekend?
I think it already hit.
No, it hasn't hit yet.
Okay, because Ishitoshi says.
Do you guys have that in Texas?
Yeah, I think it's everywhere. Well,
okay, I wasn't sure.
I think it's everywhere in the U.S. I'm not sure.
I know, like Georgia refuses to do it.
Oh no,
or something.
no. There's a mountain time in Arizona that doesn't. There's something to do with I don't know what it is exactly, but it's Arizona.
Yeah,
but yeah,
so just keep posted with that. But yeah.
So I'm gonna name off the list of people that we need Bitcoin addresses for the Beyond Orange Pills mint that's gonna be coming up. If we don't get those in the next 2 hours, we're going to replace your spots because we've been asking them for a while. So I'm going to go over these names. Fortnite Fitness, Scarlett Kim, CJ_HK, No, Nighthawk UXL, Honeyland Packy, Jayhawks TV, Mats, Amir Dawood, Idris, Luke, Joko, Fortnite Flicks, Jenny DeSouza, Mugen, Mogard the Great, Solomon Abuwali, Inagi, Crypto OG Djan, Jake Walters, Kilk Bang _Bang, Sammy Turnpike, OX Bullish, Khalade, Kolade, KOLADE, GB is the last one. So we need those Bitcoin addresses. If you haven't sent those, you got like 2 hours to send them over to us. So.
But yeah, so just send them over. I get Shizzy Sats, and I got to reach out to some of you guys. I know I have you guys in DMs, but if not, just reach out to me. Send it. Shizzy, you got my address right. Is it Matt's or Matt?
Matt's him.
All right, yeah. Send me your Bitcoin address, and I'll get that to Yagobi. If you might have sent it already, I might not have gave it to him, but I'll make sure I keep up with it today. If you did send it to me in the past and you are on there, I will make sure Yagobi gets you. And I'm going to check them all. My DMs just get crazy sometimes, so it's hard to keep up with exactly who sent me the wallet address. So definitely send me your wallet address again. It would just pop up to the top, and I can see it easier. So he put the list in there for you guys, so you guys have everything.
Yeah. So I just dropped the list in the chat. I think what is it? Oh, okay, good. So it went all the way through for YouTube, all the way to the end. All right, yeah. So make sure you send those like in the next 2 hours. They're asking us for them, guys. So if not, we're just gonna give them away to our community, other people in our community, because we've asked you guys for these. So, but that's it.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Peace.
We OG, or no OG. You're not bullish enough, oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Yeah, experts on reload. Yeah. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to upload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock. Ayy. Rooms is coming. Everybody on a knot. Ayy. It's a nuisance. Ordinal Revolution. Ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.